young girl claims to have crossed into the afterlife and returned, not just with memories, but with a dire message from Jesus himself. Today, we look into this mysterious and unsettling journey, exploring how a brush with death could carry a warning that challenges our very understanding of existence. Join us as we unfold the layers of this extraordinary claim. Our story begins under the sterile lights of a hospital room, where what was expected to be a routine procedure took an unforeseen turn. The girl, whose personal details remain obscured to protect her privacy, found herself facing the unimaginable as complications arose unexpectedly. Medical professionals scrambled to stabilize her, but for a fleeting moment, the line between life and death blurred. As her physical body struggled on the operating table, something remarkable occurred. Described by many who undergo similar experiences, the sensation of leaving one's body behind presents a paradox of feeling more alive than ever, even as the physical body ceases to function. This phenomenon, though not uncommon in medical emergencies, sets the stage for what was to become a transformative episode in her life. As she slipped further from the physical world, the familiar sounds and sights of the hospital room faded into a serene silence, replaced by an overwhelming sense of peace. It's here, in this tranquil expanse, that she describes her encounter with a figure of radiant light and warmth, who she instinctively recognized as Jesus. The presence before her, while embodying an aura of unconditional love and profound wisdom, carried an air of solemnity. The conversation, if one could call it that, was unlike any earthly interaction. Words were unnecessary, as understanding passed between them through a profound exchange of pure thought and emotion. The message she received was clear yet deeply disconcerting. She was told of a need for humanity to alter its path, to mend the fractured ways of living that lead only to destruction and sorrow. The specifics of the message, veiled in the language of parables and emotions, impressed upon her a sense of urgent change, but with a tempered hope. While the encounter unfolded, she felt an intense pull back to the living world, a tug that signaled her return to consciousness. With medical staff working diligently around her, she awoke with a gasp, a sudden jolt back to the harsh lights and sterile smells of a hospital room in full emergency mode. Her first coherent thoughts clung desperately to the vivid memories of her experience, the warmth of the light, and the grave importance of the message imparted to her. The girl, newly awakened and acutely aware of the burden she carried, felt an overwhelming responsibility to share her experience. Yet, the thought of revealing such a profound encounter came with its own set of challenges. How does one articulate a message from the divine, especially one laden with urgency and foreboding? Her initial reluctance was palpable, stemming from a fear of disbelief and the potential repercussions of declaring such a supernatural experience. Despite these hesitations, the need to convey the message overpowered her doubts. She began by confiding in her closest family members, those she trusted to at least hear her story without immediate judgment. Her recounting was cautious yet sincere, focusing more on the emotional truth of her experience rather than the mystical elements that might provoke skepticism. The reactions were mixed, ranging from awe and fear to concern for her well-being, reflecting the broad spectrum of human response to the inexplicable. While word of her experience spread beyond her immediate circle, the girl encountered the inevitable skepticism. Critics were quick to dismiss her story as a hallucination, a byproduct of the stress and trauma her body had endured. Medical professionals and skeptics alike pointed to the brain's capacity to create vivid dreams and illusions under extreme conditions as a more rational explanation. Alongside the skeptics, there emerged a group of supporters. These individuals were often moved not only by the content of her message, but also by the profound sincerity with which she shared it. Among them were people who had faced their own brushes with the mysterious or had personal reasons to believe in messages from beyond. This group provided a counterbalance to the skepticism, offering her a sense of validation and encouraging her to continue sharing her experience in broader forums. The narrative caught the attention of local media, spurred by the profound nature of her claims and the polarizing responses they elicited. Reporters and journalists, intrigued by the sensational aspect of a near-death experience coupled with a divine message, were quick to feature her story. This media coverage did not just amplify her voice, it also opened the floodgates to public scrutiny and further debate. As television segments and articles multiplied, so did the public's interest. People from various backgrounds holding different beliefs tuned in to hear about the girl who claimed to have spoken with Jesus. The coverage varied from deeply respectful to critically skeptical, highlighting the divide in public acceptance of spiritual or supernatural experiences. This phase of her journey underscores the powerful role media plays in shaping public perception and dialogue around extraordinary claims. A greater variety of responses from the neighborhood and outside accompanied the increased media exposure. On social platforms and internet forums, discussions about her story burgeoned, with people expressing everything from heartfelt belief to outright dismissal. Some viewers found her message to be a wake-up call, considering it a timely reminder of spiritual or moral decay in society. These individuals saw her experience as a beacon of hope or a warning that warranted serious consideration. Others viewed the widespread attention as a concerning sign of gullibility or sensationalism in contemporary media culture. Debates often centered around the credibility of near-death experiences as a whole, with skeptics arguing that such phenomena are more about brain chemistry than spiritual truth. This broad spectrum of reactions highlights a societal fascination with the unknown, as well as the skepticism that modern, scientifically oriented nations tend to show towards claims of supernatural events. Each camp, whether believers or non-believers, engaged with her story in a way that reflected their worldview, thus illustrating the deep divisions and also the intense curiosity that such extraordinary experiences provoke. In the wake of widespread public discourse, a variety of experts stepped forward to weigh in on the young girl's experience. Psychologists explored the psychological aspects of near-death experiences, discussing how extreme physical or emotional trauma can trigger vivid, lifelike visions. They suggested that such experiences could be the brain's way of coping with the stress of perceived impending death. Meanwhile, spiritual leaders and theologians debated the implications of her message, pondering its alignment or conflict with existing religious doctrines. This analysis brought a new layer of depth to the public conversation, blending scientific skepticism with theological curiosity. It provided a framework for understanding not just the phenomenon itself, but also its potential significance in a broader existential context. This conversation served to bridge the gap between disparate views, inviting a more comprehensive examination of what such experiences could signify about human consciousness and the possibility of an afterlife. Following the initial wave of public and expert scrutiny, the focus naturally progressed to how this profound experience influenced the girl's personal life. Returning to normalcy was not an option. The weight of the divine message transformed her worldview and reshaped her priorities. She became more introspective and spiritually oriented, dedicating herself to understanding and fulfilling the perceived divine mandate. Her relationships with family and friends also underwent significant changes. While some relationships were strengthened by shared beliefs or newfound respect for her experience, others were strained by skepticism or fear of the implications of her message. This shift highlighted the profound impact that such extraordinary experiences can have on personal dynamics, often serving as a catalyst for broader life changes. She assumed a new role, that of a messenger with a divinely inspired mission. This role brought with it both support and isolation, as she navigated the challenges of being seen simultaneously as a visionary and an anomaly. Her story, thus, is not just about the message she carried, but also about the personal transformation and the trials that came with it. Accepting her new identity as a messenger with a divine insight, the girl faced both admiration and isolation. Her life took on a dual aspect of challenge and purpose, balancing the skepticism and support from her society. She engaged in speaking events and discussions, often invited by local religious and spiritual groups, intrigued by her experience. These platforms provided her an opportunity to express her message more broadly and to connect with individuals who were receptive to her story. This role, however, also required her to develop a thick skin against criticism and doubt, which sometimes came from unexpected sources, including close acquaintances. The transformation in her life was marked by an increasing commitment to spiritual practices and service, driven by a desire to align her actions with the profound message she felt obligated to share. This commitment reshaped her daily routines and priorities, centering around themes of compassion, awareness, and communal responsibility. The profound nature of the girl's message has stirred not only faith and skepticism, but also deep philosophical inquiry. Scholars, spiritual leaders, and the general public alike grapple with questions about the afterlife, divine intervention, and the moral responsibilities of humanity suggested by her message. These discussions often revolve around the interpretation of her experience through various philosophical and theological lenses, each trying to unearth broader truths about human existence and the universe. This philosophical exploration raises several enduring questions. What is the nature of divine communication? Can human beings truly comprehend and convey messages from beyond? And what are the ethical implications of claiming such experiences? These questions do not find easy answers, but they provoke significant thought and dialogue, encouraging individuals to confront the complexities of faith, reason, and the human condition. The girl's near-death experience has had a profound and lasting impact, both personally and societally. She lives with a renewed purpose and has become a vocal advocate for spiritual awareness and ethical living, using her experience as a foundation for her identity and actions. Her story has sparked widespread discussions on spirituality and ethics, encouraging others to explore and share their own experiences. Her message has sparked a social movement among individuals toward more selfless and compassionate actions, which has resulted in the development of initiatives that foster mutual understanding and collaboration. Educational systems are also evolving, integrating ethical and spiritual discussions into their curricula to foster a well-rounded development that includes moral as well as intellectual growth. The girl's near-death experience and subsequent divine message have spurred significant personal and communal transformation. Committed to the principles received during her encounter, she actively works with locals and online, promoting integrity, compassion, and mindfulness. Her ambitions reach beyond her immediate surroundings to writing and public speaking, aiming to impact a global audience with her message of transformation and hope. Her message has been accepted by populations that have boosted volunteerism and displayed more sympathetic behaviors, establishing support systems that cater to local needs and promote a common human experience. Schools have also incorporated her teachings into their curricula, enhancing students' understanding of moral and spiritual wellness, ensuring her influence on future generations. On a societal level, her message prompts a reevaluation of our life priorities and interactions, inspiring books, talks, and policy discussions that advocate for a balance between material and spiritual well-being. Her legacy continues to inspire a broad spectrum of individuals, urging a deeper contemplation of life's deeper meanings and the interconnectedness of all existence. This ongoing influence marks her story as a catalyst for enduring change and deeper understanding across diverse cultural and spiritual landscapes. While we end our video of the girl's extraordinary experience and its aftermath, it becomes clear that her journey from a near-death encounter to becoming a beacon of hope and change is a testament to the power of transformative experiences. Her story does not just belong to her, it has become a shared narrative that continues to inspire and challenge us to think beyond our perceived limits and to act with greater compassion and understanding. Her message from beyond, though rooted in personal experience, transcends her individual story and becomes a universal call to awaken to deeper realities and to live with renewed purpose and commitment to the greater good. As we reflect on this narrative, we are reminded of our own potential to affect change and to contribute to a more thoughtful, compassionate world.